So now you saw this. So now Liz Warren falls for every stupid trick that Donald Trump pulled. You guys are more radical than I am. How could that be? I mean, I'm radical. So Donald Trump got her to say this.
I am not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe.
What?
Really?
I love to put my little Rachel in there. Rachel always says that.
What?
Really?
So I showed you this, that Kamala Harris spoke at a Healthcare for Justice Labor Day rally at Kaiser Hospital, where the workers got arrested demanding greedy multi-billion-dollar Kaiser bargain a new contract. She didn't say healthcare or Kaiser once. Turns out she's the top recipient from Kaiser, so there it is. But if you look just a little higher, guess who's on? Elizabeth Warren got even more money, and at the top it's Beto O'Rourke, of course. So here is so Elizabeth Warren went on and she said this.
You mentioned earlier that you don't believe in unilateral disarmament. So does this only apply in the primaries, or will you carry this over to the general election or any other election you'll have going forward?
So this is for primaries. Look, I do not believe in unilateral disarmament. We need to win. We need to win in 2020. And when we hit 2020, and we're in a race against Donald Trump, when we're in a race for control of the Senate and control of the House and in control of the state houses and the governor's mansions, in all of those, the Republicans are going to be bringing a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of dark money, a lot of super PACs, all to the fight. We play by the same rules. And in that one, I say we got to be all in.
But you guys, don't you understand? She only wants to take the dark money when it comes to the White House, the Senate, the House, governorships, state houses. So when we do the dog catcher election, no dark money. It'll be okay. What the fuck is she talking about? Every election is for the White House and the Senate and the House and governorships and state legislatures. When do we have an election that doesn't involve those people? What the fuck kind of bullshit are you slinging?
I don't belong to a tribe.
So
that one, I say we got to be all in.
Okay, all in means that we're going to take corporate money, big money, dark money. That's bullshit, right? I don't think that's right.
What?
Okay. And as Bernie says, you can't change a corrupt system by taking its money.
Jimmy, are you sure the full quote isn't "you can't change a corrupt system by taking its money in the primaries"?
Elizabeth Warren goes to bat for the medical device industry. She did that. She tried to get the tax taken off in Obamacare for the medical device industry. Elizabeth Warren attends Martha's Vineyard dinner hosted by big bank executive Democrats Wolf of Wall Street. Robert Wolf hosts Wall Street critic Warren. Former Wall Street CEO Robert Wolf told the New York Times after a Hamptons fundraiser, "I think Senator Warren's views are more pragmatic. I think she is very different in a conversation than she is on the stump." So it sounds like she's got a private position and a public position. Am I right, Malcolm?
Jimmy, she was just there to tell him to cut it out.
She's gonna go to Wall Street and say, "Cut it out." She didn't make any public announcement over the weekend regarding her participation in that donor event at Martha's Vineyard. She did, however, post pictures on Twitter of a town hall she held in Martha's Vineyard prior to the dinner, noting that the event was what democracy looks like. Hey, again, she's definitely better than all the other people running except for Bernie and Tulsi, but that's a big fucking drop off. Remember when they were saying we're going to go to war with Iraq? Iraq has the 5th largest military in the world. There was a huge drop after that 4th military. And that's what I feel like. There's a huge drop after Bernie, Tulsi, and then Elizabeth Warren is way fucking... I don't trust her. I don't know if do you trust her, Malcolm?
I don't know what it means to trust.
Do you think that she's going to fight the way Bernie or Tulsi would fight?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. To her bone, she's a capitalist to her bone. In recent months, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts has visited New York at least twice for fundraising receptions, including one hosted by Meyer S. Fruker, the vice chairman of NASDAQ. Now, that was in 2017 when she was raising money for her Senate campaign. By the way, all that corporate money she raised for her Senate campaign, she's using in the fucking primary. Am I right about that? Yes, I am. So here she is being asked about her military vote. Now, Bernie voted against every budget of the military for Donald Trump, right? Because how can you say a guy is a traitor and then give him $80 billion more to go bomb other countries? He's going to be doing it at the behest of another country. I thought he's a traitor. Right? He's working for Russia. Why would you give him more money to bomb people? He's just going to be doing it at the behest of Russia, right? Oh, it's because you fucking know he's not doing it at the behest of Russia, and you're a fucking cocksucking liar, fathead. So here she gets asked about her vote, and here what she says.
You have focused a lot on progressive domestic policy. You also voted for a military budget increase in 2017. How does that square with your progressive politics when we're talking about foreign policy?
If the question is, do I think we should cut the military budget, the answer is yes.
Okay, that wasn't the question. That's not the question. I don't know if you heard the question. She literally heard the question and then said, well, if the question is something else, it's not something else. It's the fucking thing I just said. What? This is amazing.
You have focused a lot on progressive domestic policy. You also voted for a military budget increase in 2017. How does that square with your progressive politics when we're talking about foreign policy?
If the question is, do I think we should cut the military budget, the answer is yes. And
Hey, if the question is what I did in the past, I say, let's talk about what I'm going to do in the future. How about that? That's amazing.
If the question is, do I enjoy chamomile tea in the evening, the answer is yes.
Do you enjoy chamomile tea? Here we go.
And I'm now on the Senate Armed Services Committee. I've had this fight over and over. But there's another part to it, too. We need to stop the control over our defense budget that's exercised by the giant defense industry. As you know, we now have a Secretary of Defense who spent 7 years as head lobbyist for Raytheon. I asked for some simple conflict of interest rules that he would abide by. For example, not to make decisions that involve Raytheon and Raytheon's bottom line. And he refused. The Republicans confirmed him anyway, but this is what corruption is all about. Putting lobbyists...
You fucking voted for it! What are you talking about? You voted for that fucking corruption! How dare you say this shit? Deflecting when asked, well, I'm gonna be deflecting when asked about a question about my military vote. I have a plan for that.
Jimmy, I went to him and I asked him a direct question and he wouldn't answer it.
She has a hard time justifying voting for the military budget, just as I would have a hard time justifying voting for an establishment Democrat. The only difference is I don't fucking do that. Here's Elizabeth Warren is quietly telling Democratic insiders. With phone calls, texts, and handwritten notes, the Massachusetts senator is continuing an unusually determined outreach effort to show party officials she is aligned with them. That doesn't feel good. I gotta tell you, that doesn't feel good.
I'm looking for text messages, voicemail that says you're standing with the people.
Yeah, maybe the people of Standing Rock. I would like to see where was that text message? Where's the text message saying you're standing with Bernie in 2016? Where's that text message? Hey, here's a text message. She's standing with Hillary Clinton. Warren and Clinton talk behind the scenes as 2020 race intensifies. That's what they're doing. And here's Nate's liver. He says, Warren's starting a lot to lock down her private positions. She's found the sweet spot between Bernie's Medicare for All happening and Hillary's single payer is never ever gonna happen. Expensive access for all, supplemented with GoFundMe for all. But Warren has made little effort to, so this is, they're not highlighting their connection together. She says, Clinton, who is perceived by many on the left as too centric, I perceive Chris Christie as spending too much time at the buffet. I perceive. To the extent that Democratic primary voters fear a repeat scenario in 2020, and to the extent that she's competing with Sanders for the votes of progressives, there may be good reason for Warren to keep her distance from Clinton publicly. You think? Hey, Superman, do you want to go pick up that kryptonite? No, not right now. I'm running for president.
This is one thing you can't accuse Bernie Sanders of, is cozying up to Hillary Clinton.
I actually do give a fuck about your emails. Warren is literally following the Obama 2008 playbook of peddling vague populist rhetoric to voters, while behind the scenes simultaneously assuring the donor class she'll play ball with them. You don't need a crystal ball to see whose interests she'll attend to once in office. I don't know. I think that's pretty right on. I really do. She's definitely third choice for me. There's no fucking doubt about it. I mean, hey, this is what I think. Nara Tannen said, I love Elizabeth Warren, have hosted her at Center for American Progress many times. She would never say that about Bernie. She would never say that about Tulsi. That's what makes me suspicious. Like someone who's really against the establishment, they should be allergic to someone like Nara Tannen. Nara Tannen should be like, ah. And if you don't know who Nara Tannen is, as Hillary Clinton's appointee on the DNC platform committee, Nara Tannen voted against the $15 minimum wage. She voted against the ban on fracking. She voted against Medicare for all, against tuition-free state college. She's voted against standing against the TPP. But Nara did vote for military action on Iran. That's who is friends with Elizabeth Warren. And by the way, Elizabeth Warren stood up and applauded Trump when he said we're not a socialist nation. And I don't know if you can tell, but guess who fucking isn't standing and applauding?
Oh, Jimmy, I am a capitalist to the bone. To my bone.
You may have to take a hard look at Amy Klobuchar.
Why black voters are so important for Democrats in 2020, Elizabeth Warren struggled to draw black voters is a big problem. If Bernie's support was half as white as Warren's, it would be mentioned on TV every night. Warren's support is 71% white, by far the largest of all top-tier candidates. Media crickets. So spare us the Warren and Bernie are the same crap. The establishment is all in for her. But you know we're going to get stuck with her. You know that's happening. You know it's going to go to a second ballot. They're going to choose Elizabeth Warren. Bernie's going to fucking endorse her like he did Hillary. And we're going to be sitting here pounding sand, fucking yelling into the wind like we always do.
What are you going to do when Elizabeth Warren chooses Hillary as her running mate?
I know. So Steph has a theory. Do you want to tell the theory? You want me to tell the theory?
Go ahead.
So the theory is that Elizabeth Warren picks Hillary as her vice president, and then Elizabeth Warren has an accident. Elizabeth Warren commits suicide, and then Hillary becomes a president. It's fucking perfect. That's funny. Come on, that's funny. Hey everybody, we're doing a live show every Sunday in October in Hollywood, California at the Sycamore Tavern. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for tickets and become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every month. Become a premium member. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com and sign up. Thanks for your support.